Right, hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So, something a little bit different again from us. If you've been watching the channel, you might have heard us talk as we're walking around Tenerife, Benidorm, Salou and Mallorca, all these places, that we very nearly bought a house in Spain, several times actually. So if you're thinking of buying a house in Spain, this might be worth a watch. Now, we had a great time, as you will see, because we've got a load of photos and videos that we took at the time, and I'm going to be putting them in here. But a lot of people had been in touch with her when they seen on the video that we had been thinking about buying a house in Spain and said, why don't you make a vlog of it? And we thought,
tell our story,
why not? I thought, why not, you know? So then I started downloading, because all my photos and that's saved in the cloud and what have you. Started downloading it, and the memories came back, and I thought, actually, that would make a really good vlog, you know, really.
It's interesting.
There'll be people who
twists and
might
turns and everything. So
quite a few.
Stay with me, you'll see the twists and turns.
So yeah, well, how did it all start? I think the same way everyone else did. Place in the Sun, Sunsea, selling houses, you know, a new life in the sun. All these programs, we watched them all for years and years. And I think everybody has a dream. And for most people, that's all it is, just a dream.
Living the dream.
We all live in the dream. But yeah, buying a house in Spain, why would you not? Because back in the day, the plan was you could finish work early on a Friday, get a cheap flight out to Spain. You could be there Friday, Saturday night, and fly back Sunday night, back to work on the Monday. It was very doable, and lots of people did, especially with the place we were looking at, Gran Alicante.
Right, 20 minutes from Alicante Airport. We are 15 minutes from Newcastle Airport.
Exactly, aye. So yeah, Gran Alicante, that was the place we had identified, simply because Julie had an aunt who lived out there. She had been out there 18 years. She's back now, but at the time she was still living out there. I don't know if you know Gran Alicante. We hadn't heard of it, but if you're flying into Elche Alicante Airport, if you look out the left-hand side of your window, you'll see some tower blocks, and might mention that later. I know that's Arenal. Right next door to that, there's a load of whitewashed houses that seem to be on 3 levels, and that's Gran Alicante. And so it's literally 5 minutes from the airport, isn't it? Because we hired a car. I had a lovely little car. And drove, and it was literally 5 minutes. Now, what we didn't do, I don't know if they still do it now, they probably do actually, where you can get a company and you pay your flights out there, they put you up in the hotel, they show you around some properties, and we thought, we don't want that, we don't want the hard sell.
We wanted to go on a place in the sun.
We did actually, and more about that and all coming up. But actually, we're on a place in the sun, well mentioned.
Slightly on a place in the sun,
yes,
very indirectly.
Very much so. So yeah, we didn't want the hard sell. We didn't want to go on them organised tours. So what we did was we paid for everything ourselves. And then we got in touch with a local agent who gave us the hard sell anyway. No, he didn't actually.
No,
he was fine.
He was a good agent.
He was fine. He was really good. And more about that as we go on. But yeah, so what we did, we got in touch, I can't remember what website it was, but I knew nothing about Gran Alicante really, other than what we'd seen on Google Earth and that, you know, zooming, looking around the streets and that. So we hired this place. It was the old style Spanish building, wasn't it? And it was up the hill.
The very first one, yeah.
It was. And it was up the hill. Drove up there. It was a canny little place, wasn't it? It had a lovely bougainville outside.
Said, do you want to buy it?
He did, actually.
So we told him we were out there looking for a property, and he said, do you want to buy this one?
Do you want to buy it? Yeah, we should talk, he said, but we didn't. So yeah, lovely little property. Bougainville outside, looked lovely. Rooftop solarium, right outside the pool, as you can see. The pool was right across the road from it. And again, back in the day, you have to be south facing.
We had to have a sun terrace.
Got to be a roof terrace and all this.
Didn't know what we wanted.
No, and the guy said, you know, the agent said, Everybody wants that. Everybody wants a rooftop solarium. Everyone wants south facing and all that. Must have a pool and all this. And he says they never use it. And sure enough, on all of our travels all around the sort of Alicante and Murcia area, we very rarely saw anybody sunbathe. It's too hot. It's too hot.
Nobody went up that roof terrace.
No, it didn't actually. So yeah, it's a fact. It's an actual fact, and especially now at our age, because even when we go on holiday now, again, if you watch our vlogs, you'll hear us say time and again, we don't search out the sun, do we?
Not anymore.
We want to be in the heat, so we can sit outside in the lovely bars and restaurants and that, but we're not looking to go there and sunbathe and get a suntan and sit on roof. Imagine sitting on a roof. I couldn't think of no worse. It's too hot, but everybody thinks that that's what they want. At the time, we weren't really sure what we wanted, and we certainly knew nothing about
how to do it.
Yeah, the legal side of it. So we went to a solicitor. What they called?
So she was Andrea, wasn't it?
Andrea, yeah, that's right.
And she was English speaking, and we were signposted to her. So I had this appointment with her. We had an appointment with the bank about.
That's right. We went to the bank.
We went to the bank for the financial stuff, and we were dead lucky because we had Maureen and Colin who lived there.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
So Maureen and Colin did us a full spreadsheet of. They don't call it the bin man there. What's it called? There's something, and they don't call it that. But you've got to pay that, and they don't call it council tax. So she did that spreadsheet.
That was really good.
So we could budget and think, right, this is what it's going to cost her when we're not there. Because bearing in mind, we weren't going to live there.
Oh no, this was a holiday home.
It was a holiday home. So what it would cost her to run it while we weren't there, and then.
And it was extremely reasonable.
So what surprised us was when you looked at the price of the house, you had to add 15% on.
Yeah.
So if the house was 100 grand, 15% on that straight away.
A lot of taxes now in Spain, and it's worse again when you come to sell, as our aunt found out when she came home. But yeah, that's
easy to
another
buy,
story.
very easy to buy, hard to sell.
Yeah. Actually, we had a friend who was going to buy out there, and the seller pulled out, and the seller had to pay him 14%, didn't he? So he got £8,000 for note, but he didn't get the house either. But it's a legal minefield. So if you are thinking of buying abroad, definitely get some proper legal advice, especially along with your UK will counts for nothing in there. But we don't want this to be a story of. How to do it and all that. We just want the good bits, and there were lots and lots of good bits, weren't there?
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
Really good
but like I say, we started out looking at these older style properties. We wanted the lock up and leave, if you like, and this guy took me around some of them.
Took me everywhere.
What was it like? Where they were sitting getting their dinner?
It's like. Looking at an empty property is very different to walking into somebody's living room when they're sitting eating their tea, and then the agent says, "So what do you think?"
I know. What can you say? This was an old couple.
It's lovely. Yes, it's lovely. We'll think about it.
It wasn't lovely, by the way.
It wasn't lovely. Some of the places he took with you. So many lovely places and so many that he had on his books for too many years, and he needed shot of them.
Yeah. One of the places we did look at, because it was reasonably cheap, I forget the name of it now. I know the Levante was the next one up, but this little townhouse thing, and it looked canny on the photos and that, the developers' photos. But when we got up there and actually had a look around, it was just a building site at the time. There was a couple of people had moved into the first one or two of the first block, but it was just like a row of 60s tenement blocks, of like a modern version of it. Lovely inside, but we just thought, no. And then we looked at the Levante, which was a little bit better. You could have got a swimming pool and that with
Sierra
it. But that was the next thing, because we had planned to go down, because obviously we're on the internet, this was 2016, so we're on the internet looking at all the different places to go based on what we'd seen on A Place in the Sun, what we'd found out on all the forums and that. So we had a drive down to Murcia, but we stopped off at Villa Martin. Didn't know anything about Villa Martin at the time, really, and we stopped at a little place called Valencia's. Remember?
Yeah.
Missed the plaza totally. Love the plaza, by the way. What a beautiful, beautiful place. But we missed it. We didn't know it was there. We literally went into Valencia's, had a drive around, came out, and then carried on down to Murcia. And we're looking at Sierra Golf. Now, Sierra Golf initially seemed really good. The prices were incredible. Fantastic.
Villas were pools, cheap as chips.
Great. But it was one of these ones where the developer had started and hadn't finished. It was, I mean, one of the reasons we didn't buy, not the reason, but one of the reasons we didn't buy in Gran Alicante is because the developer had promised all kinds, including golf courses and all that. Never happened. But it went on to flourish anyway. But Sierra Golf building just stopped. And the council didn't come and empty the rubbish, did they? They wouldn't empty the bins. They didn't clean the streets.
The roads weren't finished into the estate. There was no pool opened or anything. No. But it's better now.
It is better, actually.
Years ago.
I heard another developer has took it on and they are finishing it properly, but I haven't looked into it. But yeah, those that bought and sat out the hard times, I'm sure they're relishing it now.
Did you get any pictures of the Sierra Golf?
I don't think I got that many, actually. We're kind of just...
It looked lovely, but it was just
drove around. There was nowhere to stop, was there? There was nothing to do. There was no... We would have stopped and had a drink, but there was nothing there.
Nothing there. Just houses.
So Sierra Golf was no good for us. But then we went down to La Torre Golf. No, I loved it. And a lot of us now still thinks that that's the best place to go to, a golf resort. The streets, as you drove through, they were beautiful. Tree-lined streets, lovely villas.
The only thing was the fees, wasn't it? To
fees
stay on
were
a golf.
extortionate.
Yeah. So
you are looking at sort of...
I think it was about €400 a month.
Aye, whereas it was Gran Alicante, you're looking at £15.20 a month, £15-20 a month, whereas about £400 or £500 in these top-end golf resorts.
And if you're a golfer, which we are not,
well, we're not.
So we wrote off the golf resorts.
We
as
did.
Nice as they were, we wrote them off.
And it's a pity. One of the reasons we wrote it off was, although you had a load of expats there, you had a great, thriving community, lovely clubhouse. It was a hotel in one of them. I can't remember where that was. That one.
Marminor.
Or the Marminor. One of them had a big hotel and it was lovely. But they had all the balconies and that were sort of covered and shaded, and we thought, oh no, because we were still in the mode of, you need bright sunshine constantly. No, you don't. So we wrote that off, but then we went down and had a look around the Marminor one, and that was fabulous. Again, the tree-lined streets. It seemed to be much of a muchness between the two, but they were lovely. And then we went into Los Alcaraz, didn't we? On the Marminor. And had a drink there and a bite to eat at a local cafe, and that was lovely down there. The whole area was really nice, but we just thought we'll head back up to Gran Alicante, and on the way back we're called in because we went up through La Zenia, Rojales, Benihoffa,
all these places,
all the places that we're seeing on there. We're just putting them into the sat nav, and it was taking.
We could have filmed an episode of A Place in the Sun.
we could have. So we pulled into this place, Formentera La Segura, and it was a real old Spanish town, about 15-20 minutes inland from the coast, and it was a lot of tenement blocks and that, and we thought, oh no. But we had seen this advert for these new builds, and we thought, we'll go and have a look. And we pulled round the corner. Bearing in mind, the villas were beautiful, but they were overlooked on the three sides by these tenement blocks, and we just thought, no, but what an eye-opener that was. I'll show you a little walk around of that.
That was really cheap as well,
It was cheap. It was only 140,000, wasn't it? So,
for a villa in Spain with a pool and everything, it was cheap.
Fabulous. And the amenities for it, all wired up for the internet and everything, was lovely. I'll show you that now.
Here the quality is everything I told you that is in the property. Okay? Yes. Here the floor plan also. And the price list. Where is the property and the price. Okay? What are the specified street condition? February next year. This February next year, July this year.
Yeah.
Okay? And HPGs. It's my name. Yeah. In this way, you can see all the pieces of the board. Yeah. The way out, everything is the quality and the photos, everything. Yeah. That's 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah. The photograph came here to do it, so you can see everything. And also reservation.
that? What year was that?
So this was 2016. Not 2015, 2016. This was 2015 because remember we went back. We thought, oh, we need to see what it's like in the winter. We'll go
So
at the end of November, and I had a heat wave, and it was 30 degrees.
Yeah.
But that was in what's his name's place? Joaquin.
We did quite a few trips,
We
didn't
did
we?
a
Back
few.
and forwards,
Yeah.
and we rented a few different places.
We did.
Just to see.
Yeah,
and,
see what it was like. Because you
yeah.
had different entertainment, you had different bars, restaurants, cafes and all that. We've heard stories of people staying in Gran Alicante up the hill and knew nothing about what was down the bottom, which is where all the action is, by the way.
And if you're wondering at this point, why did they not buy?
Yes,
it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. So anyway, we came back. We had a word with the agent and said, look, we don't fancy the old style property.
Anymore.
Not really for us. We're looking at something new. We've just seen this thing down there, Formentera La Segura, this beautiful place. And he says, oh, have you not seen the Linda? And we didn't know what the Linda was. And he took her around, and that changed everything.
Away.
Yeah.
Blown away.
Aye. So I'll stick in a little short video of the tour we did around the show house Linda, and it was lovely. I'll put that in now. Oh, there's a door from the kitchen as well. Oh. How about that then?
You like?
Beautiful. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Where do I sign?
This is different. This house is bigger.
Yeah.
You have more plot. This plot is smaller.
And at this point, we weren't. Annabelle wasn't born.
No, Annabelle
So
wasn't
Annabelle
born.
wasn't born.
No.
We weren't looking to move there instantly. We
Yeah.
were buying a holiday home with a view to going and living out there
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
like 5 years later.
Yeah. Well, that was the plan. And yeah, we're seeing this.
Never tell God your plan.
Nah, true. So we had a look around this Linda. It was absolutely gorgeous. We loved it. We thought, you know what, let's dig deep. Let's pay the extra money for it.
Cut our cloth.
But that was 175,000 a Linda. But I wish we'd bought it now because I sell it for 400,000
I know.
and higher. But never mind.
Circumstances.
But anyway, we thought, Linda, we're ready to sign the papers. Everything was in place, and we thought, you know what, this was
A
May.
week, wasn't it?
No, it was May 2016. We thought, you know what, there's a Brexit vote coming up. We'll just hang on just in case.
And you said to me,
Yeah.
no, let's just go ahead and let's just get the paperwork signed there because we're never going to leave Europe.
There's
That's
no
never
way.
going to happen.
Exactly. No way they're going to vote to leave.
And I said, I'd be happier after the Brexit vote
Yeah,
and we
you
know
did.
what's
To be fair.
happening because I'm the sensible one.
Yes, actually. And I was in, I didn't vote in the Brexit vote, by the way. We don't get political on this channel because we don't like any of the politicians. But I was working in Italy at the time, and I remember waking up and switching the news on, and we'd actually left. So that scuppered them plans.
Because we didn't know at that time We
No,
couldn't go ahead
yeah.
because nobody knew.
No,
Nobody knew
nobody
what
knew
the
what was-
healthcare arrangements, whether we didn't know about 90-day rules or nothing like that. We didn't understand anything.
No.
So we rang the agent and said, "Do you know what? We can't sign for this property. It's too much money
Yeah.
when we don't know." But we'll wait, and when they thrash it out, then we'll come back.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we did.
But then
In the meantime, we bought a property local to us, which we rent out, and we just sort of kept our powder dry and waited. We kept on going out actually, and that's when we started going to Joaquim's place. Beautiful. He was down the hill. Closer to the beach, closer to the bars and restaurants and that, and it was lovely. It was a lovely little apartment. I would have liked to have bought his, even though it was an older style. It was a bit
nice.
more modern. Because when we were looking down Mercia and that, there was some lovely properties down there, but again, they were just a bit too old style for us. You know, you just didn't get the feel for it, did you?
No.
But Joaquim's was the other thing that helped Joaquim's place out was he filled it with lovely modern furniture, and it was really nice.
Yeah, it was quite
laid
contemporary.
out nice. It had a lovely patio outside, massive, with a barbecue and everything. It had the upstairs with a nice terrace out there, lovely sitting on there. And we were there actually in the November. When we were trying out
What was it like in the
Spain
winter? And it was red
29
hot.
degrees or something.
In November.
Right, so yeah, the visits to Spain continued, mainly staying at Joaquim's place because we did genuinely love it there, and we had some good little holidays there as well, you know, going into Alicante and that, which is a city we love, especially the marina. If you watch the videos, you'll know how much we love a marina, and we had some great little holidays. We actually went with Jackie and Neil, didn't we, a few
did.
times, because he had 2 bedrooms, so they came out with us a few times.
So we're still kind of half
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there, weren't we,
We
for
were.
a while?
Yep.
Waiting for to see what happened with Brexit.
Exactly. And then when we realised, for us, the 90-day rule didn't really matter that much. We could still go ahead and buy.
Yeah.
So we thought, yeah, let's go for it. By this time, we'd looked into Villa Martin even more, and Lasagna area, Cabo Roig and all that down there, and it looked really good. So we rented a place down there, the first potential Casa Annabelle, because by this time Annabelle had come along as well, our granddaughter. That threw a spanner in the works as well, you know. But we thought, again,
At that point we went back to it just being like a holiday
Just a holiday home, yeah.
And you convinced me, no, it'd be great for Annabelle. She'll come out in
would
the
love
6
it.
weeks holidays.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, and then, yeah.
aye. But it was a lovely place. Who did you rent that from? What was he called? Was it Gary? In Villa Martin.
Villa Martin. Oh, I can't remember his name.
We got that just through Facebook. Because if you...
Paul,
that was it. It was
Guy
Paul.
called Paul had a property.
Yes. Actually, he had 2.
He had 2
one.
when he lived in one.
And his son had the other one
we
further
rented
up.
that one, and that was lovely.
It was really good. No, he had 2. The one we stayed in, I'll show you that now, by the way, before I forget. I'll stick the bit video in of the little tour of that. It was lovely, really nice. And we liked the idea of it all being on one level,
The Lola.
even though it had the Lola, that was it, the Lola stay. Because we're seeing another one as we were there. Anyway, I'll put the video in and come back to you. Lovely. Palm tree. What are they called again? Bougainvillea.
We've got a little barbecue there.
Oh, yes. Oh, I like it.
So that they can stay calm in the back of the car and you can
UK TV.
Because journeys might take longer, there will probably be more queuing as well. Now you might have to wait around in the airport, you might have to wait around to get on a train. You need to be comfortable, you all need to be able to just chill out. How about this for a chill out? This, I think this is hysterical. This is a Uzi infinity pillow. One more one, you may not be. No, I like the very, it's very bamboo. Cotton. It's actually really quite cool. It's 350.
So yeah, Lola, we loved that style. There was another style that I like. Remember the one up on up the stairs? And because I'd seen a couple of them that were really done out nice, nice and modern. And I loved that style, but the stairs kind of put me off. Even though the Lola had stairs up to the little roof. And we've seen another one in Villa Morton, really cheap. It was deserted.
80,000.
Yeah, the white one. That was nice, you know. We could have done that up really nice, but the area wasn't ideal. There used to be a big swimming pool right outside it, and the people who lived there didn't want to pay for the upkeep, so they filled it in.
Took it out.
Which is a bit strange. But the people were lovely. We went into the neighbours, didn't they?
There
was one had a 1-bedroom, one had a 2.
And they just took one or two.
And they took one, just showed her, and they talked about what it was like for them. And it sounded great, you know. We looked at some the other one. I didn't like as much. The one that had the damp. I'll put the video into that one as well. There isn't. You know, the one and that had the damp in there, and you went out the back and up the stairs, and it was a bit dirty.
And it overlooked like the next door hotel's pool. That one.
So yeah, that was a possibility, but I didn't really warm to it that much. Like it was all right, but it wasn't quite what we wanted, was it? But Villa Morton, what we loved about there, apart from the fact that you could, what we learned was, for lunch, all you need is a baguette. Everyone was walking around with these baguettes.
Like a uniform?
And we thought, because I had an Aldi there, didn't I? And we used to go to Aldi every day for our wine and that, and
baguette?
And my baguette, and my ham. And we used to make little ham sandwiches when we had our crisps and that. It was ideal. We loved it. We had a great time. We did look at a lot of properties. We had a few nights out in the plaza.
It's your eye like a big pizza pie that's Sunday. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's Sunday.
Well, where we were staying in Valencia's was literally a 5-minute walk, wasn't it? Just up the bank a bit.
And it was COVID times because we had to wear masks.
Well, you had to wear masks as you were walking down the street at the time. Actually, we got caught on the way back. We were told at 6 o'clock, if you're not back by 12 or something, you would have to isolate for 2 weeks, which we did when we got back. But the plaza, great music, and they had some big stars there. And well, I say big stars. Basically, Rollers had played there. There was a few canny acts that had on, because I had like when we were there, they were starting to get away. There was some issues around who was paying for the acts who put on the big shows in the middle. So a lot of the bars were having their own individual acts on, weren't they? But it was a great place. We loved it, and they loved it.
But then just thinking about, we had the masks on because COVID had hit, and then everybody, well, it shocked the whole world.
Yeah.
But then everybody thought it's just going to be 6 weeks, six weeks, you know, and then it'll be over.
Yeah.
But then actually it
But
went
it didn't.
on and on.
It didn't.
And the people we knew who had properties, because we got caught, we flew out, hadn't we?
Yeah.
And then they said, you've got to come back and isolate because you've been in a foreign country. There's only a little window of opportunity. But the people who owned properties, they struggled to get out there.
Well, people who were out there at the same time as us and who had bought, they didn't get into it for 2 years. And the place were a right mess.
Cockroaches.
We went and seen one.
One had snakes.
Remember the one we went in where there was dead insects everywhere? It was a bank repossession. So I think you're doing a bank repossession. That's a minefield in itself. So you wanna think about that. But we've seen this one, and it was another style that I really liked and all. Had the lovely balcony and that, but it was a bank repossession, and we went in there, and it was just dead insects all over the place. And the guy says obviously we'll clean it out and all that, but you know, when there's a smashed window or whatever, they all come in and all died. And it looks like it's been empty 5 years. It's got every creature in the bloody world dead in it. But lovely, it looks. I think it looks brand new. You know, all this, it's barely used. I do like it. But, and if you ignore the 85 million dead bugs downstairs toilet.
Is there much in it?
But yeah, it's probably brand new. Main bedroom, which has wardrobes, nice terrace, south facing. Second bedroom, big enough. Again, wardrobes. Ah, the bathroom's I want to put a cleaner in. Again, south basement. That's a freaking south basement. It's my garden leaf. Very nice. But
And then there's that put off
It
the
did, it
COVID
did.
because we wouldn't have been able to get
Oh,
there.
yeah,
But then
COVID was
also we didn't look into this fully, but apparently some strange rule in Spain is if somebody moves into your property,
yeah, well, you're not
they
there.
just have squatters' rights.
Yeah.
So if COVID went, well, it did go on and on, but we
Yeah.
were thinking if anything like that ever happens again and we can't get to our property,
Yeah.
then somebody's just going to move in. And,
Absolutely,
for
yeah.
nothing. So there was loads put off then, wasn't it?
There was, and I think the main thing that hit home was because we were going to Gran Alicante quite a bit and Villa Martin quite a bit. We joined all the local groups, and the number of people who said to us if they had their time over again, they wouldn't buy in Spain. They would buy in Tenerife. If they were going to buy, the two main things were if they were going to buy, they would buy in Tenerife because it gets cold in the winter.
Yeah, freezing cold.
In January. We know because we used to go to Benidorm every January with our parents.
And it's cold
that.
on a night
And it
time.
is cold on a night time. And them houses, they're not built to hold heat in, they're built to keep the sun out. So, you know, it's a big worry trying to heat a house like that in Spain in the winter. But yeah, the other thing was people said they wouldn't buy at all because if you're laying out a big lump sum of money for a property out there, you've got to use it. You've got to keep going back to it. You can't suddenly say, I'm not going there on holiday. Otherwise, it's just sitting there wasting. And you can't rent it out unless you've got all your official paperwork, which is difficult to get. And what they said was they would rather just go on holiday a lot or rent, long-term rent. And I guess that's kind of where we're at now. You know, our thinking has changed. We had the Brexit vote, we had COVID, all these things, and then Annabelle came along as well. All these things are saying to her, this isn't the right thing for you.
No.
And the way we've lived our lives, we'll listen
And
to the inner voice.
It's like them twists and turns of like, we could have signed that paper on that day
absolutely.
for the Linda,
Yeah.
and I don't know what would have happened, who knows, but we didn't. And then Annabelle being here now, like I wouldn't live abroad now.
No, I
you
don't
would.
think so.
He would.
You know what it is?
I wouldn't.
Well, I think I can say we will never buy abroad now because of what we know. But I'm still looking. I'm still looking in Tenerife for apartments because you've got to have that dream. You've got to have the dream that, you know, if the guy knocks on the door and says, you know, I'm from the lottery, you know, there's a check for £5 million. You know, you got to be ready. Got to be ready. Get on that plane.
Or
go.
we could sell the property we've got here.
Yes.
And use the money to go and buy one abroad. But my thing is now is if there's anything, and you know, anything wrong in that property, the boiler goes or something, you just go down in the car and sort it out. You can't do that with a house in Spain.
Absolutely, yeah.
And as we know, the selling as well, the taxes is massive.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't go and live abroad away from Annabelle, not now.
No. And the thing is, where exactly would you buy? Definitely wouldn't be mainland
Tenerife's
Spain.
too expensive.
Tenerife is extremely... I wish in 2016 we'd started our search then and bought in Tenerife because the property would have been worth a fortune then. As would the Linda.
And now, since we do YouTube, now we need to be going to different places. So
Absolutely.
we can't have a one we own and just keep going to the same place because we'll go all over.
Everything happens for a reason. Everything. So that was it then. That was our little journey. And like I said at the start, when people were saying, can you do a vlog about it? We think it would be interesting. I thought, and we were doing it really, because most of the time when we vlog, all we're doing is just taking the camera along with us. That is our style. We're not professional at it, as you know.
I don't think anybody would say that about her.
And we do it because we like it, because it's a great little hobby. It's only things like this, or we've had occasion where we're on holiday and people have messaged and said, look, we're thinking of staying at such and such hotel. Can you pop in there and have a look around? To us, that's like, yes, that's almost like work, you know, because we're not doing what we would normally be doing. But generally speaking, we just walk around doing what we do. And we're the proper vloggers. It's a video log of our day. We'll literally just take the camera with us. We don't plan anything. We certainly don't script anything. It's just us taking the camera with us, and we really, really enjoy it. But just to summarise this video up, it was fantastic doing what we did, wasn't it? And just looking through all the photos and videos and that, happy memories, it really was. And it was exciting. It was exciting
times.
It was.
And what would we buy and where would we go, what would we do? But it happened for a reason. But the obstacles were instantly the Brexit situation really put the big spanner in the works. We thought we might be able to work around it. The COVID situation just reinforced what could happen with your own property abroad.
Absolutely.
And having a grandchild is a real anchor to where you live.
Yeah, it really is. And there's no way we could leave her. We couldn't. And we wouldn't.
So we don't need to, because we're hopefully going to retire really soon, and then we can just
holiday a
go
lot.
all over. We'll get around the Brexit rule because we can go to places like Egypt and Turkey. So, and then do the like Tenerife in the winter and Spain, etc.
Plus, I think 90 days is more than enough. I really do. I don't know. I mean, if you're going out there to live, it's going to be an issue. But for us, 90 days, that's a long time to be on holiday. So we're looking to potentially, we're looking certainly in the likes of Tenerife to find somewhere that we can rent long term for the winters. Because one of the things we found out about in Gran Alicante was, if you go on a website, these holiday homes abroad thing, it costs a fortune to rent these places. Once you get to know the locals and that, remember Anne in the Phoenix? She had a property up the hill that she used to rent out for buttons to a friend of hers.
And
that's
Joaquin's
the way to
place
do it.
were rented for next to nothing.
Again, the first time we rented it, we did it through the official channel. After that, just exchanged numbers and just used to WhatsApp them and say, you know, we can get time off work here. What's the best price you can do? And it was really, really good, really, really fair with her, wasn't he?
It was really good.
Especially the time the light when we set the place on fire. We were literally leaving to catch a flight. That was when Neil and Jackie were with her. We were literally leaving to catch a flight back home. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and they just switched the light off in the sort of living room kitchenette area. Just flicked the switch before walking out the door. Flicked the switch, and the light blew, and I mean blew. And there were flames and that. Managed to get it out, and what could we do? We made sure it was safe. Messaged him and says, you know, you need to get down here. We're away to the airport, go get home. And he messaged back and says, also, so sorry about that. Glad everything was okay. Glad you're safe. I've been up my electrician. He's going to fix it. Blah, blah, blah. But I had some great times. And as I say, looking back through these photos and that, the memories were really, really
because
good.
we're always away, we are away a lot.
We are.
Everybody always says, but I wonder you haven't bought abroad.
I know.
And that's why we thought we're going to tell you why we didn't.
Yeah. I hope it has been interesting for you. Certainly has for us. As I say, it was just something.
I would never want to put anybody off buying abroad.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because you know it didn't work for us, but that doesn't mean it's not going to work for everybody else.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't sway anybody to buy abroad, or I wouldn't put anybody off either, because every situation is completely individual.
Yeah, and if we had bought abroad, we would have made it work. We would have, and it would have been nice.
Yeah, who knows where we'd be now?
Yeah, but I do believe things happen for a reason, and
our pathway was to stay grounded in the UK and travel.
Yeah. It's great having a home to come back to. Actually, there was a couple moved in next door to a while ago. They've gone since, but they bought abroad, didn't they? And then came back. They were Scottish, and loved it out there, but came back. The couple whose property were bought close to us, which we'll rent out, they actually bought in Alicante. They were in Alicante. And they sold this property back home. But I wouldn't put anyone off buying. If it's right for you, go ahead and do it, you know. Why not? You only live once.
For now, for us.
For now. The thing is now, as Julie says, we like to go on holiday. We tend to go, if we can, every 6 to 8 weeks. They're very good with work for allowing me to do it. But soon we'll be able to retire and maybe go a bit longer, because we get so jealous when we're going away for a week to try and make the holidays stretch out, and we see people going on holiday for I'm away for a month. I'm here for 3 months.
And we only ever do a week.
Yeah. But anyway, so yes, I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, keep an eye on the channel. There's lots of stuff on there already, and there's more stuff coming up.
And you never know, if the lottery man does come knocking on the door with his £1 million, there might be a new video that says what we bought in Spain with the £1 million.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do some more vlogging today, because I've spent the last 4 weeks decorating the house from top to bottom, so we haven't had time to do anything. But we're taking a weekend or two off. This weekend and next weekend, we're going to do some vlogging, different things. So keep an eye out on the channel for that, because they look really interesting and all. But I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, do hit the thumbs up.
Hit the thumbs up.
It does help her out, and consider subscribing to the channel.
And leave a comment, your experience, if you have bought or you are thinking about it. If it would be dead interesting to get some feedback,
Certainly
as in
would.
what people think about the situation.
What do you think of this video and all? Has it been helpful? Have you enjoyed it? And join one on Facebook. We've got a Facebook group. Check her out there. Livin the Dream, lovely group. But we'd love to hear your stories if you have any, or your dreams and all, because it is still a dream of mine to
or if you've got an apartment in Tenerife and you do long-term rentals, give
exactly,
it a shout.
yes. Or if you know anyone who does do it, but it's got to be cockroach free. I know they're all over, but we need them to be clean. That's what we're looking for, isn't it? Somewhere close to the main action. Lost Chris, a Decky. That's America's. But we'll see. We don't know what the future holds, so hopefully we've still got our health and we can do exactly what we want when we retire.
So on that note,
Yes.
we shall go carry on living the dream.
We certainly will. Catch you later now.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yay!
Way.